Welcome to So Many Receipts. I'm Fleur Michelle.
And I'm Shelley Seddon.
And we are two entertainment journos based in Sydney, Australia, who love to analyse and talk about all things reality, TV and pop culture.
Each week on Receipt Roundup, we bring you our take on what's trending.
This week on the show, the ho-hum black tie ball on Farmer Wants a Wife, Carrie's bizarre table dilemma on And Just Like That, the Nepo babies of Next Gen NYC, Rachel Zoe joins Beverly Hills Housewives, Kristen Cavallari's new show, and more.
We are finally on the home stretch on Farmer Wants a Wife.
Woohoo!
After what feels like a maths level journey to get to the end. It's such a weird season. So Farmer Thomas and Clarette finally got their happily ever after. I think people are feeling bad for being so mean to Clarette.
Yeah, but I did tear up when they both said, I love you.
Me too.
I mean, this show has been very strange this year, but that moment was like the moment of old when we see in all the past seasons. Plus, I thought it was very sweet that one of the women who left Thomas said, oh, I've loved being here. I love Clarette. Yeah. I mean, she didn't love Thomas or anything about it, but she loved Clarette.
She's going to miss Clarette. Yeah. So also this week we saw the black tie ball, and I think ball is a bit of an exaggeration because this was basically just a dinner at the Maritime Museum in Sydney.
Yeah, it was just like they were sitting on the footpath at catering tables.
But have they always done this interrogation dinner? It's like I felt like everyone was just awkwardly reciting these questions given to them by production. Chloe, do you feel like you've opened up to me 110%? It was so boring and repetitive.
Yeah, and when Corey delivered that line, it was so staged. I mean, give him some NIDA amateur acting lessons or something. They just don't know how to deliver the producer's lines naturally.
No. And over at Farmer Jack's table, Sarah had to go at Olivia for seeming to flip-flop on wanting children. Olivia's a vet. She's obviously super smart, and she answered in a calm and measured way. I love how Haley chimed in to support Olivia. It was gross pitting the women against each other just for that leprechaun Jack.
I know. I still don't understand what his appeal is. Am I the only one? Are we the only ones who's not understanding the appeal of Jack?
Someone on the Facebook Farmer Wants a Wife forum referred to him as leprechaun, so he's leprechaun Jack from now on. But ultimately, Haley and her fancy blonde Bob were sent packing, and Farmer Jack stole a kiss with Olivia, which I think the producers totally pressured him to do, don't you think?
Yeah. No. So apparently there is a show reunion. However, only the farmers and their winners actually turn up to it. I mean, boring. It was filmed in December, about 4 weeks after filming wrapped. I want to see the people from the excruciatingly bad group dinners, the bad conversations, all the women that left without saying goodbye, apparently. But, bring it on, because I think we're both at this maths level of fatigue, end of show season, ending, we need a nap after all this.
And are like Farmer Jared and Chloe going to show up, who broke up 3 days after they left the farm?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm interested to see what happens there.
Exactly.
So on to Just Like That. Episode 2, because I am so frustrated by this show and always have a list of questions afterwards, I started listening to a podcast called And Just Like That, The Writer's Room. It features the creator Michael Patrick King and the 3 writers from the show. I have to say, it's been fascinating for me as a writer and as a viewer. It makes me hate what they've done to the show just a little less.
Yeah, and that's just some of the things that we're going to talk about in this thing. I'm still not forgiving them for all of the bad characters this season.
Yeah, they will never be forgiven for what they've done. But because we have so much to unpack with this series, we've started a separate deep dive pod app focusing on And Just Like That. So this week we cover Carrie's rat problem, and I'm not referring to Aiden, the real reason Carrie's former neighbor Lizette shows up, and new love interest alert. 3 new men join the cast, including a famous British author who moves in downstairs from Carrie. Oh my God, thank God it's not all about Aiden.
And it is a long list of what we're going to cover.
Yeah.
Check it out if you follow this show.
There's so much to cover that we need a separate podcast. And Michael Patrick King said each episode has 4 storylines. We thought we would talk about the main Carrie and Aiden storyline here.
Yeah, and this is the problem. We don't need this many storylines. And in fact, we don't need the show to go for a full hour. Sex and the City was a comedy show, basically, with a bit of drama thrown in. And it was a snappy 30 minutes. That is what made it so successful, in part because it was a snappy pace. And for some reason, SJP and Michael Patrick King decided that this new show needed to be more of a drama comedy. I feel it's half drama, half comedy. And for drama, you do need it to go for a full hour for the arc, but it's not This Is Us.
Yeah.
It's still supposed to be Sex and the City, and this is what's making it so slow and confusing. It was never a drama to begin with. It should have chopped out all the unnecessary characters.
Yeah.
Been more like the old days, it would have been fine.
Yeah, I agree. So this whole debacle is SJP and MPK's fault. So this week we have Carrie and Aiden's vague rules regarding their situationship. So can they communicate during this 5-year pause? And to make things even more confusing, Aiden just shows up out of the blue because he felt like their last phone conversation was weird. Like we all felt it was weird.
It was very weird.
Yeah. And he says he might have overreacted to the Wyatt situation and that Carrie can call him whenever she needs to.
Yeah, but at least they're in the same room now
exactly.
when they film. But plus, to be honest, I feel sorry for Aiden. I feel like he's like Carrie's sloppy seconds. He's like a boomerang. I mean, who goes back to an old girlfriend after they cheated on them and then they left them for a guy who was much richer? Can't he do better?
Yeah.
It's a bit like, Farmer wants a wife. Are there not many women out wherever he lives in the woods in Virginia?
Yeah, exactly. Well, so in addition to starting a novel about a woman living in her house in the 1800s, Carrie is buying furniture for her big empty house. So she finds this $7,000 table on First Dibs and sends it to Aiden for his approval. And in typical male fashion, he just responds with a thumbs down emoji. So my first thought was, if you like the damn table, buy the damn table.
Yeah, exactly.
And is Aiden paying for this furniture, for this house that he will live in 5 years from now? Also, wasn't Aiden originally a furniture designer?
So many questions.
I know, but he was a furniture designer.
I know.
And wouldn't he have a lot to say when it came to furniture for the house?
I know. I was so confused about that as well. Why are they buying furniture together? It's her house.
Is it
right?
Though? Like,
oh, God, I don't know. I mean, or was she just asking his opinion on it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, do they own this house together?
Yeah, and why is she even buying a $7,000 table? I mean, yes, she's got the widow money, but it makes her even more unrelatable. It's giving, I'm out of touch even more now with reality from last season.
Yeah, but she's always been unrelatable, buying all those designer shoes and having the bags everywhere.
Wait, she was a freelance journalist, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Carrie meets up with Miranda, who's trying to pick up a waitress at a Mexican restaurant, and they discuss what Aiden's thumbs down emoji might mean. So if I am a 60-year-old woman obsessing over what an emoji means from a guy and asking my friends their opinion, please kill me. This is what we do in our 20s. Are we still boy crazy at 60?
I mean, I still feel like they've written all the characters as if they've just been defrosted after 20 years on ice, totally stunned by the modern world. Like, what is this texting? What do I press now?
Yeah.
And they've made Carrie, who was a sex columnist for decades, even more clueless.
Yeah.
The older she's got. I mean, the only character who's actually stayed true to type, I think, is Charlotte.
Yeah.
Anyway, tune into our And Just Like That deep dive to continue the conversation and more eye rolls from us, quite frankly.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
So this next segment is brought to you by Beysis, an Australian company producing a stunning range of reusable bottles, coffee tumblers, personalized gifts, and more. Name them, monogram them, and make them yours.
Beysis aims to make personalised beauty affordable for everyone using the highest quality materials and ingredients. Their unique products are still all priced under $50, making them very affordable.
Recently, Beysis made news when Oprah Winfrey purchased personalized water bottles from Beysis for an event she hosted to celebrate the 50th birthday party of her friend, famed American filmmaker Ava DuVernay.
To check out the range, visit beysis.com. That's spelled Beysis.
So new this week on Hey You is Next Gen NYC. So I want to call this show Nepo Babies NYC. Shows like this make me a bit crazy. Like, as someone who's had to hustle, work their ass off their entire life, it bothers me to see these entitled brats. It's annoying.
Yeah, and we have 4 housewife spawn, housewife-ish spawn. Gia Giudice, the daughter of Teresa Giudice from The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Riley Barres, Candy Barres' daughter from Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Ariana Bierman, Kim Zolciak's daughter, also from Atlanta. Plus, renowned tracksuit designer Brooks Marks, and actually his sister Chloe, who features in the first ep as well. And they are the children of Meredith and Seth Marks from Real Housewives of Salt Lake.
Yes, and there are some hangers-on. Charlie Zakour, who is obviously meant to be the show's resident F-boy. Georgia McCann, a New York City it girl, and Eva Dash, who also has famous parents, Rockefeller Records founder Damon Dash, and designer wife Rachel Roy, who is rumored to be Becky with the good hair, a reference from Beyonce's Lemonade.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to unpack this episode. The most explosive revelation, I think, is probably that Kim Zolciak not only took all of the money that Ariana earned as a minor, but that she still regularly hits Ariana up for cash.
Yeah, and Kim Zolciak was on Atlanta a long time ago, like 15 years ago, pre-digital media.
Exactly.
She's still relevant? I guess so. She's propping up a lot of things.
Yes. So clearly the breakout star of this episode is Georgia, the PR girl. So of course I immediately liked her because she's a PR girl who grew up between poor and middle class. And in A Taste of What's to Come, when we meet Georgia, she is combing her hair with a fork.
Yeah, is that a thing?
I don't know. It was bizarre.
Okay. I like how she referenced When Harry Met Sally multiple times, but everyone, of course, is so young that they don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
Like, I don't watch that show. It's like a movie. It's classic. I thought at least, look, she's got some culture and appreciation for the arts if she knows this classic movie. And you know what? It reminded me, that happened to me once. I was talking about music with my much younger personal trainer, and for some reason I brought up the Van Halen, and he went, "Oh, who's he? Never heard of him."
God.
And I said, well, it's more actually a band. It's a classic American rock band.
Eddie Van Halen. Oh my God.
Yeah, and he's like, I'd never heard of them. And I said, okay.
Oh my God, no.
Never mind, let's do more reps.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So the other thing is that Kim has 4 young children who Ariana also supports. So I'm not entirely sure what Ariana actually does. So she's apparently a fashion designer and influencer, and she's moved to New York with her high school sweetheart Hudson, who is an investor and artist, but comes from a family of billionaires who own a chain of chicken shops.
Oh, okay. And this week she's actually taken a plea deal to avoid going to jail for reckless driving and possession of substances. This girl's got a lot on her plate.
Well, at least she doesn't have to drive in New York. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know why she got that. Okay.
So then according to F-Boy Charlie's bio, he's a crypto trader and private investor who has been ruling New York City's club scene since he was 14. If that doesn't sound douchey, I don't know what does. So we find out that his career is basically playing around with a $10,000 allowance his daddy gives him each month. And he also reveals that he dated Lindsay Lohan when he was in high school. Excuse me, isn't he meant to be 20-something? And Lindsay Lohan turns 39 in a few weeks.
Yeah.
The math isn't mathing.
Okay, and he's not very hot.
I don't get it.
Why is everyone gaga over this guy?
Yeah, I don't know. So when Ava arrives at a group catch-up, she's wearing a new pair of Manolo Blahniks, and Georgia lovingly strokes the bottom of her shoe and then immediately touches her eye. So the entire group is, of course, completely grossed out. But it gets worse because Riley, Gia, and Georgia go to the bathroom, and they learn that Georgia defiantly does not wash her hands.
Yeah.
Not only that, she doubles down and says she's pro-germs and claims that's why she never gets sick.
What a rebel.
Exactly.
I do get that we are over-sanitized and all drowned in Dettol these days. But, I'm all for the black light torch guy that we saw on Below Deck last week, where he was shining this light on to pick up all the germs. I want to shine a light now on wherever I go, and maybe on people as well. And I've been researching these lights on Temu. I think I'll order one and let you know how I go. I also now carry hand sanitizer in my bag. It's been a game changer.
Yeah, I'm a germaphobe, and after seeing that guy with the black light last week, I want one too. So Georgia says she grew up in New York City and was the kid eating candy off the sidewalk. So I do understand what you're saying, what she's saying. In theory, I understand about developing immunity, but I can't believe that anyone who's lived through a global pandemic would not change their ways and at least wash their hands regularly.
Why don't you do an experiment and not wash your hands for 20 minutes and see what happens? Yes. I know you're a germaphobe.
Yes.
So as far as the actual show goes, for me, I don't think I'm going to be a dedicated viewer of this one, Shirley. I mean, I struggled with Summer House,
my favorite.
Which I felt was too long ago in the past for me to care about a bunch of young people all gathering together back when they don't have a care in the world. Yeah. And this is even younger, with even fewer cares in the world, barely out of uni. I mean, I get that Bravo wants to make shows for younger people because so much of them, like Housewives, are for older people. But this is too much like Schoolies Week for me.
Yeah.
I'm too old for Gossip Girl. I think I'm out.
I totally get it.
Okay. So this week on Hey You is Honestly Cavallari. which follows a longtime reality TV star Kristen Cavallari on the road with her. Sorry, my voice is going strange. Let's Be Honest podcast tour. It's Giggly Squad style. I mean, having a podcast and taking on tour is very hot right now. Yes. I mean, should we do that? Do you think we should do that?
Absolutely. We definitely need to hit the road. I would love that.
Really?
If Craig
Some
and
days
Austin,
you can't get out of bed. I know.
If I had fans that I needed, the show must go on. The show must go on.
Can you imagine how nerve-wracking that would be? We can't even push the right buttons in this studio still. Anyway, Kristen was one of the stars of a very old but classic early 2000 show from MTV, Laguna Beach. Remember that one, kids? It followed her and a bunch of her high school friends around, and they were all wearing those very low-rise jeans. It was that old. It was one of those really early weird reality drama type of shows where some of the lines were very scripted, and it was actually very badly acted in parts. They don't really have that format nowadays, do they?
No.
I mean, I didn't actually even watch it much back in the day.
Yeah, me neither. I never watched Laguna Beach or The Hills, which is actually shocking for someone who loves reality TV. I had just moved back to LA around that time. I looked it up and I'm like, why have I never watched that show? So, of course, I know who Kristen is. I think she's stunning. And holy hell, this girl is full of tea and it's piping hot.
Yeah, and just backtracking a sec, you said you read that Laguna was all scripted.
They've all admitted that it was totally scripted. And when Kristen was on Watch What Happens Live, like she said, this fight between Brody and I are, and having this love triangle completely scripted. He was with his girlfriend the whole time. And so they all admit that,
Yeah, because people always say nowadays reality scripted. It's actually not. It might be sort of like exaggerated about real life sort of storylines. But back in the day, it was line for line. Yeah. And I mean, look, Kim Zolciak, she gets around. Yeah. Who thought we would be mentioning her twice in one podcast?
Yeah, she appeared on the first episode because Kristen was in Atlanta for her first show. Yeah. And so it's really timely since Ariana just revealed that Kim stole all of her money. And in the second episode, Kristen's in Chicago and she reunites with some of her Laguna Beach classmates, including her ex-boyfriend Talon, who is drunk on stage.
Yeah.
And he dominates the conversation. He's an absolute asshole. And Kristen is furious, and rightly so.
He was so sloppy. I mean, how scary to be that drunk on stage. There were thousands of people watching. I felt scared that he was going to fall over. I mean, maybe he could be a good ongoing drunk castmate, though, to add some drama to her show.
He was just awful. He was awful. Yeah. And so she also appeared on Watch What Happens Live, and she confirmed that she dated Craig Conover for 2 seconds.
Craig from Southern Charm.
Yes. And so she excused herself from the situation when she learned that he was also dating Paige. And she also confirmed that she dry humped Glenn Powell after running into him on holiday in Greece, as you do.
Yes.
Yeah. And she also previously named Jason Statham as her hottest hookup and admitted she hooked up with Morgan Wallen because her kids were fans.
I mean, she does get a lot of action considering she's a single mum of 3 kids. Or does she just go out for a total of 4 celebrity dates a year? I mean, is that her? Maybe that's a full social calendar for her.
I don't know. And
she's just cherry picking the best ones to name drop.
She lives in Nashville. It's not like she lives in New York or LA. Right. But she also confirmed something really good. She said something happened between her ex-husband Jay Cutler and Madison LaCroix
from Southern Charm.
It's so incestuous. So they had a fling.
Oh my God.
I know. And so Craig and Austin are actually appearing on an upcoming episode of Kristen's show. So I can't wait. I'm sure that they'll get into all of that. Like, how can I get this girl's life? I want some of her confidence and badass energy.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I actually want her life because I heard on her podcast that she revealed in 2020 while she was in bed with her son Camden that she woke up to find an intruder crawling across her floor.
Oh my God.
And she kept a lid on it. She really calmly said, "What the F are you doing?" And this guy just ran away outside of the open window or whatever. Why is it so easy to break into these houses in LA?
She probably wasn't in LA though. If she lives in Nashville.
Sorry, in Nashville.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wherever you are. I mean, it happened to Dorit. I mean, God, she's been divorced for 5 years now. She's on her own. Oh well, I mean, I guess she's making the best of it. But that would be scary as F.
Yeah, exactly. So time for our roses and thorns and shut the front door. This is the most exciting rose I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, you've been hyperventilating.
I had to bring a paper bag. So last week, I was in deep mourning, as you would expect, after Paige revealed she's leaving Summer House after 7 seasons. I didn't think there was anything that could lift me out of my funk. until I awoke on Saturday morning to messages from my WhatsApp reality squad abuzz with the news that Rachel effing Zoe was joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This news is bananas.
I know, our phones were just going off, right?
Blowing up.
I know. For those of you who don't know, Rachel Zoe is a famous American stylist who had her own TV show back in the day called The Rachel Zoe Project from 2008 to 2013, which I also personally couldn't get enough of. And I don't know what it is about Rachel Zoe. She speaks in a dry, monotone way. But she's very compelling. Yeah. You couldn't take your eyes off her back then. And so I can't put my finger on it, but I just want to see her on this show.
Yeah, for sure. So the Rachel Zoe Project is one of my all-time favorite reality shows and still completely watchable today. I just saw on Hayu that it's trending. So people are already revisiting.
They're doing the research.
They're researching the Rachel verse, which I just made up. So Rachel has actually taken a break from reality TV for the last 10 years to raise her gorgeous sons and get divorced from Roger Berman, her husband of 26 years. And she's also had a major glow up. Maybe it was just a filter, but her new face looks amazing, I have to say. I think she's done like a Caroline Stanbury. And I thought Dorit must be shitting herself because a real fashionista is joining the show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I haven't been this excited about casting in a very long time.
I mean, I kind of think Erica's also a fashionista, but I think she's cool with it because stylists always dress
and
her.
Sutton as well. Can you imagine Sutton in her terrible...
The shorts.
And the
high-waisted pants on her line.
And the kitten jumpers. No.
Poor old Sutton. I mean, I was so shocked to hear that Rachel had split with Roger. They were joined at the hip.
They were like one person, yeah.
Yeah, for like decades and decades. I mean, I don't know what Rachel's like in an argument. We didn't really see her have that many fights on the show, but like I'm here for it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, anyway, on to my thorn and the thorny issue of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's latest legal woes. However, before I get into it, can I say, watching all these reality TV shows makes me feel like I need to go back and get a law degree. I have never seen so many lawsuits flying about. Yeah. We've got Erica Jane, we've got P. Diddy, we've got Blake, we've even got Jackie and Ryan from MAFS here in Australia.
Yeah.
You know.
And I have another lawsuit for my thorn coming up.
Yeah, so put your legal thinking cap on. It's like Suits, an episode of Suits this week. We've actually got a TikTok post up on our page right now with a grab from our podcast where we talked about Erica Jane hooking up with Jesse Solomon from Summer House, which has had 25,000 views, which I'm still stunned that's gone off so much. Anyway, a woman replied on the thread saying she was worried about how Erica Jane's latest court case was going to pan out, the one where she's being sued by a designer from a brand called Marco for them overcharging Erica's American Express card. And this poster was worried, what's this going to do to the designer's reputation? I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Do I even know about this case? I can't even remember. There's been so many. Erica could open up her own law firm.
Yeah, well, we did talk about it briefly a few weeks ago. These two
I
designers,
remember.
They're suing her. One is in Florida, one is in California, and Erica's lawyer failed to show up for a court hearing, which could lead to a default judgment against her where she has to pay $300,000 or more. So
yeah, and anyway, I looked it up again. I still couldn't figure out the legal jargon.
It's a lot.
Too much to get my head around. So I just replied to this poster. Certainly seems like girlfriend's got a lot of problems. Anyway, you can also follow our TikTok page for more daily goss and fun. But anyway, I then had to go and figure out more court jargon with this Blake and Justin latest thing where a judge this week dismissed Justin's $600 million defamation lawsuit against Blake, who had accused him of sexually harassing us on It Ends With Us. We all know about that. And then he countersued saying it wasn't true. And by the way, she tried to take over my whole movie.
Exactly. So basically the judge ruled that Justin can't sue Blake because the allegations made in his lawsuit are exempt from libel claims. So the legal mumbo jumbo is way too complicated to explain without needing a stiff drink. But the judge said the claim that Blake stole creative control of the film did not count as extortion under California law.
But Justin's team can revise the lawsuit, right? But if they want to pursue a different claim relating to whether she breached the contract in some way. This is all disappointing, right? Kind of disappointing because I think the majority of people, particularly women, ended up on the side of Justin.
Exactly.
I still want to see Blake get taken down for something.
Yeah, anything, please.
Yeah, and also Additional trashy business news. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have just become co-owners in Australia's successful Sail GP team on the professional sailing circuit. Like, come on.
I know.
This is business number 147 for Blake and Ryan. I'm so sick of this pair taking over the world. Yeah. And showing off how much money they've got.
Well, apparently the Sail GP team had to delay the announcement that Ryan and Hugh are co-owners because of all the terrible publicity surrounding them at the moment. Can you imagine the excitement of having two genuine Hollywood movie stars invest in your team, but then having them both involved in big scandals at the same time? Talk about awful timing.
So embarrassing.
So my Thorne lawsuit involves,
another one.
I know. Strap in. Real Housewives of Atlanta newbie Britt Eady. So after a rough first season, she's blown everything up and has announced that she is suing Bravo for $20 million over a scandal where Kenya Moore allegedly showed poster boards with sexually explicit images of Britt at her salon opening.
Yeah, and the casting of Britt in the first place was just one of the all-time, maybe the worst ever miscast in Bravo for a new cast member, because I watched the latest episode the other night. She's so out of her depth.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, she's not quick, she's not witty, she's not funny. You really need that to be on Atlanta because they're all like that.
Yeah.
She's such a fish out of water.
Yeah, she's really awful and she's a terrible fit. And so they just filmed the reunion last Thursday and Britt didn't show up and Kendra was not invited. So the two people involved in the biggest storyline this year weren't at the reunion. What are they going to talk about? Like, the day after the reunion, that's when Britt announced the lawsuit after alleging that the photos on the poster board weren't even her.
I cannot believe that.
I know.
She said it herself in one of the episodes. It was a picture of me with an old boyfriend. It was back in the day where I had a webcam website, and that's what I was doing. It's a grab from that.
Yeah, I know. So everyone assumed it was her, so she thought it was as well. And in her legal filing, it said that her lawyers made repeated requests to see what was on the poster board, but the production refused to show the photos. So after finally seeing the photos, only just recently, she was able to confirm that they weren't her.
This is crazy. So after all this, after a year, the picture wasn't even her?
I know.
I mean, I do feel sorry for her if that's the case, but is she just claiming it wasn't her?
I don't know.
It was a long time. So she was saying she was 18. How old is she now? Like 39 or something?
Geez. No, I don't know.
Actually, maybe it is her. She's just saying it's not her.
Well, yeah, because she probably looks completely different with all the work. Anyway.
Can we identify the other person in the photo, the body part of the other person?
So her lawsuit comes exactly a year after Kenya's grand opening. And in addition to the $20 million, she also wants that episode removed from Bravo's library. And I think she thought she was going to get a good edit after this photo fiasco. But the fans didn't like her, and the women actually ended up turning on her as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, she was the one that started it all, because she was the one that got mad at Kenya saying, I'm going to get my gun out on you, or whatever she said. I mean, no wonder fans don't like her.
Yeah, but I do think she has a legal case. That episode should have never been shown. And allegedly Bravo aired it because the reboot of this season of Atlanta didn't turn out like they thought it would, and they were desperate for content. So maybe this is the reality reckoning that we thought was going to happen last year. Yeah,
I mean, I do agree that, you know, she's got a case.
Yeah.
And I also think they both should have been fired.
I do too.
What were they thinking? I was thinking, were the producers thinking this show's so dull so far, this series, we're just going to take a chance and leave this
and roll the dice,
in. At least people are going to talk about it. But now it's, I mean, how can you do that in this day and age when it's like someone's reputation?
Exactly.
So shocking. Anyway, we will see what happens with that one. And Shell, as you know, I put up another TikTok this week asking the question if I was in fact the only person in Australia who watches The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, with a secondary question as to whether I was also the only person in the country who watches Disney Plus, who has the streamer which airs it. And this post has bombed. Basically, it's got no views, so that answers that question.
You're the only person over 8 years old who watches Disney.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I think people are confused about Disney Plus, thinking it's all movies and kids shows, but it's got this show. It's got the Kardashians, which is massive. It's got great pop culture documentaries. We're going to talk about one of them next week, actually. So anyway, I think people should check out Disney Plus, and please give us lots of money because we gave you a big fat plug for that, Disney Plus. Anyway, I checked into episode 2 of the latest season of Secret Lives, and I do feel I need to talk about it because this is the biggest show in the US in reality TV at the moment. These are 9 girls who star in this. Like, they're in every single top item on the news sites for Us Weekly, E! Online. They're superstars. And yet, bizarrely, I feel like I'm the only person in Australia that knows about it. I don't know anybody else watching it.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I just subscribed to Disney Plus this week because I am dying to watch the Alex Cooper Call Her Daddy doco.
Yeah, so that's the one we're going to talk about.
Yes, next week. Plus, my husband wanted to watch David Attenborough's new Ocean documentary. So my stepdaughter actually called this week and she asked if I was watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because she is obsessed. So now I don't have an excuse to not watch the Mormons drinking their sodas.
Yeah, so that makes 3 of us who are going to watch it. Yeah. Okay, this is just for Peyton, this segment. Yeah. So, look, I do like this show. It's a rose for me because of that, because it's addictive and it's the most high-octane drama you can ever imagine. And in this latest episode, Taylor Frankie Paul has a huge fight with her baby daddy, Dakota, in front of her whole family at a lunch. They're just both screaming at each other about who slept with who in the early days of their relationship. Her father then puts in his 2 cents into this scenario, which is so uncomfortable. And then there's another huge fight at a party about people sleeping around. I mean, there's so much screaming. So a few episodes ago, we talked about the reason why we think The Valley has tanked in ratings is because of the fights between the 2 divorcing couples, which we think maybe are too triggering for people dark, and they're hard to watch. However, these fights are just as toxic, actually more toxic in a lot of ways, and yet it's a smash hit.
Yeah.
So what's going on? I think it's because these girls who are stars on TikTok, superstars in the US, it's just the cult of their personality and who they are. They do these dances. They were famous before the show. And to put it into context, Taylor Frankie Paul, I can't even say her name, she has 5 million followers on TikTok. So that is like Beyonce level numbers. She's so massive. However, I was thinking, okay, they're famous beforehand. They're all beautiful. There's 9 of them. They're all young. But you know what it is, I think? It's successful because of the hair.
Oh my God. So
hair.
I do love good hair. So I seriously bought the Kerastase Thermique after Lisa Barlow told Brittany on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City that she needed it for her high body count hair. Do they have high body count hair?
Oh, I don't know about that. But I mean, they all have the same hair. It's long, it's wavy, it's luscious. It's obviously got hair extensions in it to thicken it out. It's Victoria's Secret supermodel level hair. It's the hair of my dreams. Wow. I've had the same long hairdo since I was born.
Yeah.
I mean, so have you, really. Yeah. And, I just can't get over it. I just watch it for the hair. It's aspirational. That's why.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, that's why. They've just created this monster of a show. And, like, if you because you say you're getting Disney Plus, I'm going to hold you to this. I want to know if you're going to start looking at it and actually whether we should start talking about it more. I want to know your opinion about the hair too.
Absolutely. So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. I'm Shelley Seddon.
And I'm Fleur Michelle.
Join us next week for So Many Receipts.